when I started on the Finding George Orwell book. Must have been around 2002. And then I was going back and forth for 2 or 3 years between Bangkok and Yangon. It was sort of the times when you had to get a fake business visa, and you could then go in for 3 or 4 months, and you have to find something to look like you were occupying your time with. So I had the study of Burmese language. I had a Burmese language tutor, and that was sort of my inverted commas purpose for being there. For me, I found it fascinating and stressful and scary in equal measure. It was a time when you'd often be followed. You had to have some sense of who you were visiting and why, and what the impact was on people. I feel in a way we've returned to those times again, right? It feels like a long time ago. And now suddenly in the wake of the coup, it feels like it's all relevant again. There's a certain element where I went in as an outsider to tell stories about Burmese people and Burmese life and what it was like to live there. And there's an element where I sort of feel, I took those stories and went away and made them my own, it was not my intention by any stretch. Of my intention was to make those stories available to a wider audience. And if those stories can feed back into Burma, I think that's quite exciting. I like that idea. When I tried to write the ending to Finding George Orwell in Burma, I really struggled because it wasn't a hopeful time. I hated the idea of ending on a despondent note, but I couldn't come up with anything at the time. I struggled. And I think I ended up writing something quite trite about how dictators that rule against the will of the people will eventually be overcome or something. And that I looked forward to one day closing my copy of 1984 and no longer having to refer to it in the context of Burma. But it seems we're right back there again. I feel for now, his literature will echo in the country. To silence stories in any way, right, is just so depressing and so counterintuitive, because in terms of progress and development and peace and understanding and empathy and all those things that we strive for, storytelling is behind all of that, I think. Learning about other people and learning to empathize with other people and learning to understand other people. When elements of society get vanished or get hidden away, I think that's when problems start, right? Because that prohibits understanding and empathy, and I don't know how that can ever be productive, really.